Gravity Falls changed the game for Western cartoons. It inspired countless people and featured projects that would later be greenlit by Disney. Among these projects were original series like The Owl House and Amphibia. The villains in this series were nothing short of iconic, but most of them ended up suffering from the same major problem that many of us fans just try to ignore. I'm of course talking about the temporary drop of intelligence during the finales, along with the fact that the creators decided to make them way too overpowered. Emperor Bellos would have won if he didn't decide to fling the plate containing the collector at the bottom of some random staircase. It's not even a bottomless pit or anything. He legitimately just betrays one of the most powerful beings in his universe and drops the only thing that is able to contain said being at the bottom of some easily accessible staircase.
I taught you magic.
A few moments later.
Goodbye.
Which ultimately leads to his downfall. Then there's our boy Bill Cipher. He knew the identities of everyone who was needed to defeat him, and during the Wordmageddon specials, he also had unlimited power while being trapped inside of Gravity Falls. I'm not necessarily suggesting that Bill Cipher should have done anything that would have raised the rating of the show.
I've got some children I need to make into corpses!
We don't do that here.
But he could have easily turned all of them into stone, or he could have done an infinite number of other horrible things to make sure that they couldn't get together and take him down. He turned Ford to stone. He could have done it to every single one of them before he threw his massive party, but then of course we wouldn't have our happy ending. Most of these shows sacrifice the intelligence of the main villains during the final arcs because they're just too overpowered to be defeated any other way. There's only one series that I could think of that had actually balanced villains who didn't have the ability to snap everyone's neck before you have a chance to blink. I'm of course talking about Amphibia. The villains in Amphibia were handled so amazingly well that it's genuinely depressing when you realize that it became one of Disney's lowest rated series. If you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to subscribe, it would help me out a lot, thank you. Amphibia tells the story of Anne, Sasha and Marcy, three friends who get sucked into another world called Amphibia after messing around with a powerful artifact known only as the Calamity Box. While there are other beings and creatures in Amphibia, the three main factions are frogs, toads and newts. We learn later on in the series that the Calamity Box originates from the world of Amphibia and was destined to return to it one day, along with the three champions of the stones. This basically means that Anne, Sasha and Marcy had godly levels of power inside of them from the beginning of the show that could have been activated at any time during their journey when they came to Amphibia. King Andreas knew this and ingeniously tricks the girls into going on quests to temples all over Amphibia in order for them to give up their powers and return it back to the Calamity Box before attempting to attack the girls head on. But everything doesn't end up going according to plan, and Anne actually accidentally ends up keeping some of the stone's power for herself. This of course freaks King Andreas out and he busts out every single weapon in his arsenal to destroy the girls. King Andreas himself is actually one of the most well-done sympathetic villains that I've seen in a long time. The guy spent most of his time just drinking tea and reading books before he met Marcy. He was forced to prolong his life by replacing most of his limbs and organs with robotic versions of them because he had to live long enough to handle the arrival of the champions of the stones and he apparently couldn't get a wife or something. King Andreas was tasked with regaining the Calamity Box because it was taken on his watch when he was a teenager, and his father made him believe that he had no choice but to follow in his footsteps, convincing King Andreas to continue the family legacy of conquering various worlds alongside an entity known only as the Core. The Core is a biomechanical collective of the smartest minds that has ever lived in Amphibia and is the true villain of the entire series. The Core doesn't mess around, it pushed King Andreas into impaling Marcy and plugging their minds into a body, controlling her as a puppet. Amphibia makes a point to teach people that they should never tolerate bullying and peer pressure. We got that lesson with Anne and Sasha, but we also get this exact same message with the villains of the show when King Andreas stands up to the Core and plays a vital role in its permanent destruction. King Andreas, after realizing what he had truly become, chose to let Anne finish him off in one of the most powerful scenes in the show. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the video and let me know if you agree with the points I've made down in the comment section. Take care.